All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going back to this vehicle. This is going to be the part 2 for the alternator replacement on the 04 Hyundai Santa Fe. As I said in the last video, we were going to take it out. But since I'm limited with hands on what I can actually do, I can only do certain parts of this video. As you can tell, it's a mess down here. We had a power steering leak, and I'm going to clean all this up before I install the new alternator. Like I was saying, when you take everything off, if you don't have like a splash, you got to take the splash shield off, and you have to take the it's best to take the windshield overflow reservoir out, so you don't have to worry about it being in your way, and it's kind of recommended. You don't got to take the bumper off or anything. If you got hoses hanging, shove them in there for now if you can. You got to take the idling pulley off that was there, and you got to drop the also have to drop the AC compressor. As you can see, it's right here. You got to drop it all the way down, at least past the A-frame. The hoses do not have to be disconnected, just enough so where you can pull the alternator out, because the alternator has to come out this way. So FYI, if you want to be technical about, well, how am I supposed to do this without damaging the radiator? Easier said than done. What you do is you put a piece of cardboard right here, because I can't really put it right here without scraping up the radiator more. And you have to basically take the AC bracket out, which, as you can see, the AC bracket is out. I don't know if you can really see it, but that's how far the AC compressor has to come down to be able to access the alternator. But yeah. See, well, can't really see it, but the alternator, the AC compressor bracket has been removed. You do have to remove that to be able to get access to pull the alternator out. I'll show you the original alternator. This is the original alternator that came out of it. It has like a little over 184,000 miles. And it looks like what killed it was either power steering fluid over time, or it could have just been the end of life. Always be sure when you buy a new alternator, you always inspect your plug to be sure it's a 4-pin plug. And I looked at the new one, it is a 4-pin. And always be sure that you take this bracket off and put it onto the new alternator using the original nut. And I don't know if the stud comes off on this one yet. I can't verify that. If it does, and the other one doesn't come with one, it's best to replace the stud or use the original one into the new one, because some vehicles you do have to do that. So do not throw away any parts, and make sure you have your parts organized so you know where everything goes back to. It's best to have a magnetized bolt holder so you don't lose your bolts. Then you have to disconnect like this line here a little bit to move it. It won't move much, but enough to get out of your way. You don't have to disconnect your power steering line. You can if you want. It's recommended to push it out of the way. You have like a little bracket that goes right here that connects to the side of the radiator. And you also have to unplug it. Unplug the alternator's power. And always be sure you unplug both terminals, positive and negative. I do both for safety. People say just unplug negative, but I do both just in case from electric shock. And I'll show you what the new one looks like. Alright, this is the new one that's in this box. This is from O'Reilly's. I looked at AutoZone for Duralast, and they all carry nothing but refurbished. I even looked at Discount Auto Parts, even CarQuest, because sometimes CarQuest has deals. They're all refurbished. They're all the same exact price. Even the Duralast ones, they're like $279. They're not even brand new. It's just you're paying for the brand basically. And this is what the new alternator looks like. You just got to be sure it has all the connectors. Make sure it has the pulley. Also, be sure that everything's correct on it. try to flip it a little bit. And as you can tell, this one does have a 4-pin plug, and this one will work. I don't know why you can't find them brand new. It's weird how nobody sells them brand new. I think because maybe these cars are so fully discontinued. Maybe it's just so difficult to get a brand new one. I don't know, but it's the only car I've ever seen so far that you can't buy brand new AC compressors. And that's the bracket right there that has to come off. It is 100% recommended. You can't bypass it without it. That's the really soaked up idler pulley. And the other one that you have to take off, that's between the compressor and the alternator. And take the belt off. And you also have to take that out. I will make a part 3 about getting this thing installed. And I'll try to show you a little more details on how to get it installed back in there. But just so you know, it's going to be reversed. So what you do is you would have to take the bracket. You have to put the alternator in first. Just hold it in there first, and then you got to put the bracket behind it. Attach the bracket back in, because the bracket is what keeps the alternator to stay in. It's kind of weird, because the compressor has to go underneath the alternator, and the compressor has to bolt directly to the bracket, goes on the side of the engine block, and an alternator has to go above it. So I hope this video helps. We will make a part 3 about how to install the alternator on this 04 Hyundai Santa Fe, and y'all have a great weekend.